Hi there, Mike. I'm glad that you've submitted these essays to us. I hope they get to you in time. So good luck on your test today. Let's see what you wrote for us. Okay, people believe employees should stay in the same jobs. Others think they should switch jobs. To what extent do you agree? Fine. Let's see. In recent years, we had experience that some of traditional professions had almost disappeared. FE, cobbler, and at the same time, market had presented completely new ones. Vivid work environment and increasing mobility of employees have sparkled a debate whether it is beneficial to change your job over a time period of one's career or not. In this essay, I will try to give arguments for both notions, however, supporting strongly the latter. Okay, so good stuff here. The structure of the introduction is correct, accurate, fine, but there's things happening with your grammar and your vocabulary that are creating a problem. Let me show you what they are by reading again to you, this time actually correcting what you wrote. In recent years, let's see. In recent years, it appears that, you could have said that, or in recent years we have experienced the disappearance of some traditional professions. Don't write FE. It's just straight out, you're going to write it. For example, that of cobbler. And I have no idea what this means. Market? I don't know. So, for example, that of cobbler. Okay. And at the same time, the market has created completely new professions. We don't call it a vivid work environment. This isn't a common collocation that we use, so let's change that as well. I don't know what you want to say here, so I can't give you a suggestion. Okay, and increasing mobility of employees have sparked, not sparkled, a debate whether it is beneficial to change your job over the time period of one's career, C-E-R-E-E-R, or not. Okay, and then that's fine. For many years, people used to work in the same company for their whole professional life. Spelling, please, careful. This was perceived as a sign of loyalty, careful with your spelling, and being trustworthy. Such a person knew, with a K, the company inside and out, and could be an excellent trainer. Okay, it's a little underdeveloped. All right, so you needed to go a little further into all of this. It's short, and it's just, you kind of leave the reader with a feeling that there's more that absolutely could be said about this. Okay. So great, it was perceived as a sign of loyalty. So why is that important? Why is it important for somebody to be seen as trustworthy? What do they gain from that? Okay, why would I want to be an excellent trainer? What's the benefit of that? Okay, so you say that there are benefits, but you don't show me how they're benefits. And so I definitely feel like there's more to be said about this. On the other hand, being able to change jobs might be positive for both employer and employee. Switching workplace and adapting to a new environment gives you a set of new skills and flexibility. Like what? Give me examples of what those new sets are. Give me an example of the flexibility. How does this benefit me, the employee? How does it benefit the employer? So you're giving me these ideas, but you don't give me specifics. So I'm just left with a very abstract concept of your ideas without really knowing precisely what you mean. Okay? Different ideas and solutions can be used cross-professionally. Okay, like what? Again, give me an example. Okay, there are tons of things you could say. So what is a solution or an idea or a skill set that you can use cross-professionally? Maybe you learn how to use a software program in one job, and then you take that skill and you apply it to a totally different profession. Okay, so that's the kind of thing that you need to provide here in your answer. Let's see. Okay, and another body paragraph. Above that, additionally maybe. A recent study done by Cambridge University among managers showed, no colon, just straight, just write it without the colon, showed that those who changed companies, not the companies, more often than their peers, moved up the ladder twice as fast. Career ladder. Don't forget to write that. Last but not least, having a what, comma, having a wide range of different work experiences and qualification gives you a golden parachute and safety landing in times of crisis and turmoil, as it was proven in 2008. Yeah, but it might have been proven in 2008, but you haven't proven it to us. You haven't explained to us what you mean. Why does having different work experience give you a golden parachute and safety landing? And explain to me an example from 2008 so I understand what you're talking about. Okay? Alrighty, so, oops, where'd it go? Let's come back here. Okay. Okay, so to conclude, comma, being loyal and attached to a workplace has some advantages, but it is it is my firmly held belief that in today's apostrophe S hyperfast world, comma, flexibility and multitasking are far, not way is way too conversational, so are far more beneficial and give you far more possibilities. Okay, so there's some good elements to this essay, Mike, but there are some things that you absolutely need to develop a little further, correct in terms of the grammar and the vocabulary. Yes. Okay. Now, another thing that you should be aware is that we don't typically recommend 5 paragraphs. You should really try to say everything you want to say in 4 paragraphs, making sure that each of your body paragraphs is more or less equal in length. Okay. So what you could have done, and I already suggested this before, is absolutely develop this a little further, and then I thought that this needed to be developed a little further as well, as I already said, and this you could have left it out, or you could have combined it with this, but you still should have developed this part more. Let's take a look at your bird flu casualties. You didn't include it. That would have been helpful, but it's okay. So this bar graph, it's a bar chart, presents the number of casualties of bird flu per year. According to World Health Organization, it shows a change in a span of 10 years between 1990 and 2000. It has an upward trend starting at just above 100,000 deaths per year in 1990, being steady in a following year. Then it shows steady and steep growth up to 1997, reaching almost 180,000, so almost double the initial numbers per year. Then it presents that from 1997 to 2000, the numbers had plateaued, indicating that possibly some measures were applied. Okay, were applied, no E, and that should be applied. Okay, so it's very short, it's underdeveloped, and you didn't have an overview. An overview is absolutely necessary if you want to get a 6 and above. You did not have one. So what would an appropriate overview for this be? Something that just shows the general overall trend, where you say something to the extent of throughout the 10-year period, it is clear that bird flu casualties grew considerably. Okay, so that's the kind of thing you want to say for your overview. Absolutely necessary. Some people put it directly after your introduction. Some people put it at the end. I'm always a big fan of putting it after the introduction. Okay, then there were other things you could have said. You just really needed to stretch everything out a little more. Let's see. So okay, we don't say it has an upward trend. So starting in 1990, there was an upward trend, or you could have said starting in 1990, the deaths were 100,000 per year, okay? And they remained at these levels the following year. In 1992, they increased, and this increase continued gradually by about, I don't know how many thousands it was per year, for the following 6 years, 8 years, 20 years, 100 years, whatever. Okay? Reaching almost 180. Okay. At the end of the 10-year period, the figures reached 180,000, which was almost double the initial numbers. Okay? Let's see. Okay, yeah, so in 1997 this happened. Then it presents that. Okay, from 1997 to 2000, numbers plateaued at the same levels with a slight dip in 1999. You don't want to say that some measures were applied. You never want to include anything that is outside of what is given to you. You don't want to make any sort of assumptions. You're just reporting on the figures that you see, okay? This felt really short to me. I figure it's got to be about, what, 100 words or so? So you absolutely have to develop this more, okay? Alrighty, so good job with your test. Let us know how you do. If you need any assistance in the future, if you know, need to sit the IELTS again and would like some assistance, some feedback on your writing, we're here. So do keep in touch and let us know how you do. All right, best of luck to you.